Levels are good, cameras rolling, and here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen of AES, or perhaps just gentlemen, at least at this point. Ladies, get the ladies over here so we can have some ladies of AES. Anyway, I am Mitch Thomas from Sound Toys, and we are having fun once again at this conference, and we are bringing some awesome, cool people over here to chat with us. I'm going to let this gentleman introduce himself.
Hey everyone, my name's Scott Jacoby. Delighted to be here. I'm a proud Sound Toys user and happy to be chatting with Mitch.
Scott Jacoby, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Jacoby, so hi, I'm being super formal. Well, tell us a little bit about your background. You mix records and record records and.
So I get, like a lot of us these days, I wear many hats. I'm a kind of taking the music process from beginning to end. I'm a writer, I'm a producer, engineer, and mixer. So do all of those things, sometimes all at the same time, sometimes not. And I've worked with a lot of different people through the years. I've worked with Coldplay, Vampire Weekend, John Legend, Vanessa Hudgens, all sorts of people from different genres of music.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
So some favorites, projects that you've done?
Yeah, I mean, let's see, I just worked on the Coldplay 5.1 mix. The their new album released a surround sound, so that was a very cool experience. And what else? One of my favorite projects is a new singer I just worked with named Michael Bloom, who's on S-Curve Records, and enjoyed that. And there have been, so many, but Maisha is a singer that I developed from the very beginning, and that was a first Grammy nomination was with her, and like that was a pleasure. That was a good one.
Nice, congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
It's always fun. So, yeah, trying to compete with TV One.
I know.
Yeah.
It's my
Not for long. So anyway, that's awesome. So I know.
Yeah.
I know. So we're taking a little pause. Stevie Wonder, another legend, walking right past our booth.
So
it's just
great.
one of those. Wow, holy moly!
I know.
Amazing. And we actually had Bob Olson was over at the booth talking about this amazing gentleman just a little while ago and working with him. That was awesome. Anyway.
Yeah, we should just we get him over here. And,
I quit. So, all right. So you've mixed some cool projects. You've had some fun. You've recorded stuff from beginning to end. And I assume at some point in that you must have used some Sound Toys plugins, and that's why we asked you to come over here, right?
There's no doubt. I'm a big fan, as you know, Mitch. They're pretty central in my process, and I can say a lot of things about Sound Toys, but one of the things that's always the case is and I think this isn't my quote, but like they're much more than effects plugins. They're creative tools. I almost look at it. You can put a Sound Toys plugin on something, and you can come out with a completely new sound, an original sound, and that is something that's really special. A lot of plugins don't do that. And the other thing that I particularly love about Sound Toys is, it used to be, in order to get any kind of like warmth or saturation, I really had to leave Pro Tools,
right,
and leave Digital Domain, to get it. And I still love doing that, but like Sound Toys is really the only plug-in manufacturer that I found that stuff sounds like analog and does some things. And you have a lot of plugins that are really focused on those types of things that happen when you're in analog domain, and it does a really good job with it. So, you're not looking to necessarily drastically change a sound, but just if you want to kind of give it that feeling and that warmth, you can just put that plug-in on and dial in a little bit of it, and you're getting the same thing that you would be if you were, going out of the box.
Right. And you've met Ken and spoken with him, so you know that, he designed these things. It was very important to him it had the hardware feel and the experience, just the whole kind of hardware vibe.
The way it looks, the way, to whatever extent you can feel a plug-in, it has that thing, but like even, the button that you press for like the tap tempo, that it has that look and feel of it's great. It's great. And the wood,
Wood.
Yeah, wood.
Virtual wood. There's nothing wrong with that.
We need more virtual wood in the world.
So, your favorite plugins? Which ones do you go to?
Let's see. I mean, my go-to, I love Decapitator, and for a lot of obvious reasons. It's great on so many different things. Like I'll use that sometimes to mess up a vocal. I'll use that on 808s is one of my favorite applications of that, and you kind of helps get a little bit more of the note across of it, and you mix that in, and it also helps it kind of come across on laptop speakers. I like it there.
Right.
And then I like the Devilock stuff. I like it's incredible. Both of them, the Deluxe and the other, and my favorite application for that is actually on congas or bongos.
Yeah.
You know, and really what I find happens is it does something really nice to the initial transient, and then gives you a lot of excitement after the hit. So you just kind of have this flat sound, and it like turns it into a really much more in-depth, kind of a much more dimensional sound. I really like that.
It was really cool. You sent us an example of that. It extends the note
Yes.
of the conga.
Like a lot of good compressors, but it does so in a really unique way,
Yeah.
and I love that. And what else? Obviously, Echo Boy is just it's ridiculous, and it can do anything. And like a lot of times I'm not a scroller. I don't like bring up a virtual synth and scroll through 10,000 patches to find the thing I like. I don't have the patience for that. But I'll sit there with Echo Farm, and just like I'll have a sorry.
He just went totally back in the 70s.
Sorry, yeah,
Boy.
that was terrible. Sorry. So I'll sit there with Echo Boy, and I'll just be like have a sound source.
He's giving you hell.
They said they would heckle. Yeah. I'll have a sound source, and I'll literally do what I say I never do, which is scroll through, because it's so much fun, and you have no idea what's going to happen. Some of those presets that people have made are incredible. So you're just kind of like scrolling through, and there's like, that has nothing to do with my original sound, but it's the coolest thing I've ever heard. And then I'll take that and print it, and all of a sudden it's like the centerpiece of the whole song.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. That almost takes away my other question, which is, what's some of your favorite stuff to do? But here's one for you. Where's a moment in a project that you're working on where you felt like Sound Toys just made the difference, or fixed the thing, or what it was something special?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this because we're talking, but it happens like almost every project that I'm on, because there's some, whether it's Echo Boy or whether it's, Little Altar Boy or which I love, and I was just using that on the Corey Henry record. We were kind of taking a vocal and kind of doing some interesting pitch and weird stuff to it, and I loved using that. But that is, I think Decapitator has made some songs, and I'll use that like to get some grit on a vocal, specifically like I'll have a clean version of the vocal and then duplicate that track, and also have a distorted version where it's like punished a little bit or punished a lot, and it just gives a lot of dimension to that sound, and I can mix between the two of them. I like that. And I also like I was talking about before with any type of percussion thing, like I mentioned congas before, but shakers, like I have a lot of time, shakers can be really difficult to place in a mix.
Oh yeah.
And like you can do all sorts of stuff with EQ and all this, but like all you end up hearing is part of the sound, like this part, but you never get the aftermath of it. Yeah. And so it's that same thing with Devilock, that you can kind of like dial that in, and I like the darkness, and I like the fact that it just extends sounds in a very pleasing way, and it gives you a lot more sort of length on sounds.
Or it destroys them in a very pleasing way.
It does too.
It
yeah.
does a good job of that.
It does too. So there have been a lot of examples where, and of course, like the more obvious applications when I'm using Echo Boy, for example, or some of the Filter Freak programs on vocals, and it's really, you can get a very signature sound. The plug, again, the presets are great, and then you kind of like go in and tweak big time, and you get something really unique. So I use that a lot, modulating delays, all sorts of things.
Cool. Have you gotten into the effect rack at all?
Not yet, but that's only because of my own sort of Luddite tendencies of just having a really old system. But that's coming soon.
Yeah, no, we get it. We understand.
But I'm excited. I get the concept. I think it's brilliant.
Oh yeah, I think you're going to dig it.
Yeah,
I've seen your synth collection. I know, and then once you get into the rack, you realize, wait a minute, Sound Toys is a synthesizer where audio is your oscillator.
Yes, it's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy, and I also
cool.
dig that you've got a new EQ too.
Yeah, the EQ is very, very cool. I think you really like it, and it's we're doing the promotion. I'm not going to say it on a video because then it could go into the future. But there's a great promotion for it going on at this day.
Oh, everyone's got to get it.
Yeah, everybody's got to get
the
it.
AES promotion. Yeah.
Cool. So I appreciate you stopping by. We're going to keep it nice and short because I know everybody wants to roam and geek out, and it's the last few moments of the big show.
Cool.
So thanks.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Mitch.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.